Hey everybody, how's it going? Jittery J here. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Up next we have from Sweaty Clam. This is how many people has Peter actually killed from Family Guy. So I guess he's going to count them out and we'll find out how many at the end. Let's check this out. First thing we're going to do is hit the like and subscribe on the original video. That's the important part. Link will be in the description below, so you can do the same if you wish. Would appreciate it very much if you could hit the like and subscribe on this video while you're at it. It goes a long way towards supporting the channel and helping it grow. That being said, let's turn this on. Push these up so they'll quit falling down. And let's get into this. Check it out.
So, just how many people has Peter Griffin killed?
Reddit says I've killed 39, but that seems low.
Oh, it is. Peter has killed a lot more than that, and in this video, we're gonna try to find out just how many deaths he's responsible for. But before we start, there are a few ground rules. We won't include moments of mass destruction like the chicken fights or Peter blowing up infrastructure, unless we can get a rough number of all involved. Additionally, we won't be including regular animals, but talking anthropomorphized animals like Brian are fair game. Now let's see exactly how much blood is on Mr. Griffin's hands. So his first kill comes in Chitty Chitty Death Bang, where Peter ended up mowing down 90s pop group Hanson.
Hi, can we use your phone?
Holy crap, it's a Children of the Corn!
I guess I can kinda see where he's coming from. Maybe he figured he who walks behind the rows had become he who drives a tour bus. A much more efficient way of spreading your evil in our opinion. And when Peter works in a hospital and the sun also draws, he goes a bit overboard with the defibrillator.
Clear.
Oh, you saved my life, Doctor.
Clear.
Well, there's just nothing more they could do. After all, you gotta abide by the rule of thirds. Think 2 shocks are enough to save you? Nope. If you were truly meant to live, you'd make it through another shock. And when Peter briefly becomes Death in Death is a Bitch, he has a shockingly low kill count, though he does still cause at least 2 deaths.
I'm here to keep you from making an error. A pilot error. Jeez, I probably should have worn mittens.
I know saying it's too bad he didn't kill more people sounds truly psychotic, but I'm just saying, he missed out on a real opportunity to indulge in his murderous tendencies and not be punished for it.
Right? He did. I remember that episode. I saw that episode. It was a funny one. Finally, he just gave him his life back at the end of it. He got mad at him. Left.
Just saying, he missed out on a real opportunity to indulge in his murderous tendencies and not be punished for it. Yeah, I'll talk to my therapist about that. And in Forefather, Peter and Chris bond over the pastime of murdering someone with golf balls.
Oh my God!
Is she dead?
No, I think she's still alive. Oh, that did it.
A perfect way for a father and son to bond. Chris gets the brain nice and rattled, and Peter goes in for the kill. Don't let anyone ever tell you that golf isn't a contact sport. Forget football, this is the game that really needs helmets. And in Brian Does Hollywood, Peter runs a little late for a showing of Cats and decides to just park right on stage.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, God. I didn't see it.
Hey, these are the risks you run when you decide to have an outdoor cat. Or when you let them musically compete in order to be reborn in the Heaviside layer. And in Death Lives, Peter is kinda involved in causing a man to crash his truck.
Oh my God!
Oh no.
Hopefully he'll understand. Making out on a major road is a thrill you can't just find anywhere. But maybe that guy will be okay. After all, some friendly wolves are swinging by to give him a hand.
It's like I can really be myself with you.
Thanks for the assist, wolves, but we're still gonna count this as a Peter-related death. And in Mr. Saturday Night, Peter's attempt to save one life causes the end of another.
Starting Monday, I would like to promote you to Head of Toy Development.
Holy crap!
So while having Mr. Weed over for dinner, Brian starts to choke on a dinner roll. Always gotta make it about yourself, don't you, Brian? So this isn't exactly a murder, but in a way, Peter did weaponize Brian's half-eaten food to ultimately kill Mr. Weed. Unintentional, but still pretty impressive. I'd like to see Agent 47 pull that off. And in Fish Out of Water, the guys reminisce on the time Peter saved them by killing 2 guys with a sword.
Yeah, too bad I didn't get there till after the me.
Well, you tried your best, and your friends will always remember that. It's probably the only...
You say till after the sodomy.
Me.
Well, you tried your best, and your friends will always remember that. It's probably the only thing they'll want to remember from that encounter, now that I think about it. And into Love and Die and Dixie, Peter makes the fatal mistake of cutting into a cake.
Oh no.
Coconut.
Must have been a mix-up at the bakery. Such a shame all that had to go to waste. You know how expensive it is to bake a woman into a cake? We don't, but if someone can give us a price consultation on that, that'd be great. And in Blind Ambition, Peter has 2 kills, not including the chicken fight. The first comes when he falls off a roof and lands on top of actress Joan Cusack.
Hello? Uh-oh.
Now, Peter's no doctor, so that pulse check may not have been accurate. But when you have 300-something pounds of Peter crashing down on you, you don't stand the best chances. Oh well, she's the male's problem now. And the next kill comes from Peter accidentally tying his seeing eye dog to a homeless man.
I'll just tie you to this parking meter.
But hey, at least Peter got a brand new pair of eyes out of that. That's normally something a psychopath would do, but in this case, he really did need them. And it's probably safe to say that many people burned to death when Peter crashed a DeLorean into the side of a mall in The Perfect Castaway. Let's go ahead and assume there wasn't a big body of water in this parking lot for those people to jump into. So if you count each person who runs out, about 15 people were burned to death in this little stunt. Better to leave the time travel to the professionals, Peter. Like your 1-year-old baby and your dog. And PTV reminded us all of the importance of remembering to feed and water your clown.
I set that thing up 15 years ago. Hey, where's the clown?
As great as it would be to just revel in one of Peter's few I told you so moments, he might want to pivot and make sure nobody's been looking for this clown. Truthfully, he's done the world a service. That guy could have been the next Joker for all we know.
Oh, there he is.
And in The Fat Guy Strangler, Peter dresses as a knight to take down a vicious dragon, aka actress Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil Shepherd?
Yes.
Well, she may not look like a dragon, but the flying and fire breathing are unmistakable. Thank goodness we still have knights around that aren't just LARPers and Ren Fair nerds.
People, you are free!
And when Peter tries out Mormonism and the Father, the Son, and the Holy Fawns, he quickly learns that the downsides outweigh the upsides of having multiple wives.
Nancy, give me a beer.
Mormons aren't allowed to drink alcohol.
Peter says that he may have just thrown those women away, but we think it's safe to assume he had to do something to get them to fit in there. Ever tried putting a live woman in a garbage can? It's not easy. They hate that stuff. And in I Take Thee Quagmire, Peter lets Ashton Kutcher in on his brand new show.
You've just been tomahawked. That's my show. Tomahawked.
Okay.
Not sure if it's gonna have the same lifespan as Kutcher's show Punk'd, but now that Peter is a
Dude. We're only 6 minutes in and we're already up to 36 on his body count. He's a savage. He's a straight up savage.
apparently ended Kutcher's lifespan, his same lifespan as Kutcher's show Punk'd, but now that Peter has apparently ended Kutcher's lifespan, his show may just have a chance. And in Peterotica, Peter does a little bit of brainstorming while tossing grenades out the window.
That might work.
Just like Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein used before him, thinking grenades are the absolute best way to get the brain juices flowing. It's just too bad a guy had to be standing in the crossfire. Such is the price of the creative process. And when Peter didn't keep a leash on his pet T-Rex and Bango was his name-o, some innocent man had to suffer the consequences.
Now fetch! Oh my god, drop it!
Yet another example of irresponsible pet ownership. One death by mauling is to be expected, but something tells me this is a recurring issue for Peter. He'd better at least have that thing chipped. And in Hell Comes to Quahog, Peter takes the knife to a talking bear who just can't stop stealing picnic baskets.
Hey, boo-boo, let's see what we got in this picnic basket.
About time somebody put this dude in the dirt. Does he have any idea how expensive a full picnic setup can be? If he didn't get caught for this, it would have been from refusing to wear pants and letting it all lay bare. Yes, pun very much intended.
Tell the other bears what you just saw.
But Peter even caused a death that hit pretty close to home in Peter's Two Dads.
Alright, this is gonna blow you guys away.
I knew Peter was probably a burden to bear, but I don't think Francis was really expecting the weight of that burden to squish all of his internal organs. And Peter didn't even give him the grace of a quick death. Francis still lives for what seems like another few hours. If you're gonna kill your dad, you make it quick. Them's the rules.
You're a fat, stinking drunk.
And in the Tan Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Peter has to step in when his gremlin turns into a horrible monster.
Ah! Kill it! Kill it!
That's just irresponsible Fran Drescher ownership right there. If you can't stop yourself from exploding her head with a
Strange gesture. Oh, that's so messed up.
monster.
Ah! Kill it! Kill it!
That's just irresponsible Fran Drescher ownership right there. If you can't stop yourself from exploding her head with a microwave, then maybe you shouldn't have bought her in the first place. And when Peter and Lois decide to open a restaurant and No Meals on Wheels, we're given a glimpse into Peter's past when he used to make some interesting cupcakes.
I hope these taste as good as they look.
Gerald!
To have your dish literally be mind-blowing is the
Okay.
biggest compliment a chef can receive. He just might want to put a warning label on those. There's sugar headaches, and then there's that.
Oh, and I'll make my special cupcakes.
No, Peter.
Oh, yeah, right. That was the problem.
And when Peter goes back in time and meet the Quagmires, his weight once again causes a death thanks to his old pal, Gravity.
Oh my god! You just crushed Andy!
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Well, maybe he ended up being okay. After all, bones do grow back, right? But if he did survive, it would have been a great reference if Andy turned out to be that teacher in the wheelchair in the future. And in Blue Harvest, Peter's Han Solo doesn't
It
feel
would
like
be
doing
messed
business
up.
with Greedo, so he just shoots him instead. Glad this episode stuck with the one true Star Wars canon, the one where Han Solo is a stone-cold killer. I will be accepting no Greedo shot first, Han's digital head moved revisionist history in this house. And just for good measure, he also gets to destroy at least one TIE fighter. A little less psychotic with this one. And in Stewie Kills Lois, Peter isn't satisfied with just throwing confetti to say goodbye as they leave on a cruise.
Bye! 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 Bye!
But maybe she survived.
No.
Maybe the whole water feels like concrete when you fall from high enough thing is just a myth. It is pretty funny though that Peter later gets accused of murdering Lois on this boat, but not a peep about the other lady. Maybe her husband started fist pumping the air when he found out and decided not to press any charges. And in Lois Kills Stewie, Peter does the honor of offing their evil baby.
It's just been revoked.
I know they were going for a pattern in the title, but it's kind of misleading, isn't it? Let Peter have the glory of shooting his child, why don't ya? And in Padre de Familia, Peter's Mary Poppins cosplay unfortunately goes horribly wrong.
Do you suppose she'll be everything we've dreamed? Oh, I do hope so. I've always imagined the most beautiful...
You know, if there's one upside to
Oh,
this, it's that
no.
Peter at least shows some semblance of shock and regret over this
First
killing.
to
You don't
49.
usually catch him having any regrets, so it's good to know that there's a genuine human in there somewhere. Kinda. Yeah, maybe not. This guy's a nightmare. And when Peter attempts to remove one of the brewery's competitor billboards in Tales of a Third Grade Nothing, he makes a tiny little oopsie with his explosive.
Oh no. They're gonna count a lot of them with this one. I remember this one. The Children's
Oh, God.
Hospital.
Oh
68
my
now.
God, this is horrible.
Can't even say his heart was in the right place because it seems like it switched spots with his brain. And this isn't just some one-off inconsequential scene either. The crime gets brought up at the end of the episode, which gives an accurate number of how many kids were killed.
19 children died, Peter, and the FBI knows it was you.
Yeah, but in his defense, that's a way lower body count than we were expecting, so you do
Yeah.
in fact have to hand it to him a
Definitely.
little bit. And in Back to the Woods, Peter tries to set up a joke involving a swallowed Vern Troyer, but it doesn't play out the way he intended.
Oh, there he is. You know what? He slipped into my colon. Yep. Ah, damn it. He's smothered.
Very confused about how he thought that was going to work out, and even
Okay.
more confused by whether or not Troyer agreed to go through with it. Well, if anything, this is going to make for a very interesting trip to the bathroom. And in Family
Right.
Gay, Peter's use of a mentally challenged horse in a race ends up costing the life of a baby in the crowd.
It's over.
And that's just the one we know of for sure. His horse apparently also makes its way through a class of deaf second graders, but since we don't know the number, we won't count those. The horse track definitely makes for one weird field trip, though. Imagine dying on the lamest field trip of the year.
I know you can't hear any screams, but I assure you they are signing frantically.
And Peter had the blood of another child on his hands and the juice is loose, although this one he was actually familiar with.
Sure, you're there signing frantically. Oh, I just pictured my stepdaughter when she's upset. Her hands go a mile a minute. And yeah, she's over this weekend. That's why it made me think of her. And yeah, this one was dark.
Year.
I know you can't hear any screams, but I assure you they are signing frantically.
And Peter had the blood of another child on his hands and the juice is loose, although this one he was actually familiar with.
I'm sorry, Lois. I thought if I shook him enough, he'd stop crying.
This is a terrible tragedy, but as he says, he was technically right. I wouldn't doubt that all his living kids passed the shake test and this one just couldn't hang. It's just like what Charles Darwin talked about, or something along those lines. And in the episode 420, Peter uses his sultry singing skills to sink a ship filled with 8 sailors. It is pretty difficult to ignore the alluring pull of someone like Peter, especially if you're a sailor. They've been out on the sea for who knows how long with only their mates to look at. At this point, they'll take anything. And to see one of Peter's most high-profile kills, we actually need to hop over to the episode Gone with the Wind from the Cleveland show.
No, 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 no!
Yeah, they didn't really care enough about Loretta to kill her off in her show of origin, so they decided to slip it into Seth MacFarlane's Sea show. That bathtub was bound to kill someone at some point, and in our opinion, it couldn't have happened to a nicer gal. And in Brian's Got a Brand New Bag, Peter causes a car to roll when he throws Brian out the window. That was such a brutal roll that we're just gonna assume the guy isn't walking away from this one. But good thing Cleveland decided to move beforehand. This bathtub fall could have been the last one. And when Peter loses his memory in Big Man on Hippocampus, Lois decides to let Grand Theft Auto teach him how to drive again.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'd say he gets the gist of the driving experience. He pretty much nailed everything they teach you in driver's ed. Let me tell you, I was sweating when the carjacking part of the test came up. The guy's probably fine, but that lady might be down for the count, so we're just gonna count this one as a single kill. And in April and Quahog, Peter thinks he's saved a Native American woman from being attacked by colonizers.
Yeah, this one'll do nicely.
Let her go.
I guess his heart was in the right place, but now fragments of her skull are all over the place. It's definitely messed up, but now it kind of gives me an idea for an anti-hero who kills innocent people to spare them from horrors they're about to endure. Does that make him a villain? A hero? Doesn't matter, it'll make for a good read. And in the Splendid Source, Peter sets the entire Secret Order of Dirty Joke Writers building on fire so that the guys can escape with their lives.
Put it out! Put it out!
Crazy how one little candle can make an entire stone castle explode. Yankee Candle should probably be notified that they're making glorified bombs. So other than the main characters, we don't see anyone else flee the building before it explodes. Thus, if we infer that everyone stayed in the building and died, we're looking at a kill count upwards of 50 people, if going by the number of individual characters counted. Well, rest in peace, comedy. You had a good run.
Look what we did.
Halfway through.
We destroyed a place that brought
130.
joy and laughter to the entire world.
And when Peter gets super hopped up on energy drinks and New Kidney in town, he puts a little too much of his back and elbow grease into spinning the Price is Right deal.
While we're waiting for the wheel to spin, you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, yeah, Drew, I want to say hi to Lois, Brian, Chris, Dewey, Meg, Joe, Bonnie, Quagmire, Cleveland, Mort, Seamus, Adam West.
Well, I hope he wasn't planning on spending any money that he'd won from the show, because it looks like it's going to have to go towards what we counted as about 30 different funerals.
Okay.
And when Peter lies about his weight to ride a roller coaster in Amish Guy, the resulting malfunction ends up causing at least one death.
Well, this has given me a lot to think about.
My son is dead!
Hey, that sounds a lot like the lady whose baby got trampled by the horse in Family Guy.
Right.
Not to be mean, but if this keeps happening to her, she might want to hold off on having any more kids. She might actually be cursed. And the episode Living on a Prayer reveals that Thelma and Louise wanted to turn themselves in, but Peter had different plans for them.
Let's just turn ourselves in. I got a great lawyer, and he says worst case, 8 to 12 years.
That's not too bad for, you know what? After all these years, I have no clue what their crime was. I only knew this as the Girls Drive Off a Cliff movie, but it turns out they didn't actually drive off.
Goodbye, terrible women.
And in a particularly British alternate reality, seen in Family Guy viewer mail number 2, Peter and Chris chase the Queen into a tunnel to get a string of her hair.
Ah! Dear God, the Queen's dead!
Are you telling me all those God Save the Queen chants did nothing? Well, Britain may not be as magical and fantastical a place as I was led to believe. And in Yug Yillamaf, we get to see Peter take out a kid on a bike, but in reverse, which kind of makes it not so bad. That's what he gets for riding his bike on the sidewalk. Doesn't he know that's the drunk driving lane? But upon further inspection, it actually appears that being killed by a car is a much better fate than what could have happened to him.
Stand up! You're gonna break that thermometer!
And then Lois comes out of her shell. A fun night of partying with Lois turns grim for Peter very quickly. Well, Lois doesn't seem too bothered by it, but Peter already knows exactly what to do in this situation. Thank God that was just a rental. Peter would probably run over 100 homeless men if it meant not scratching up the family car. And in Turban Cowboy, Peter discovers one neat trick to winning marathons that other runners hate. Kind of surprised no one thought about trying that yet. Well, maybe because it'll probably lead to a lifelong prison sentence for killing close to 50 people, possibly even more. Or if you're Peter, a broadcast interview to celebrate your victory.
Peter, how did you do it?
I'll tell you, Bob, I just got in my car and drove it. And when there was a guy in my way, I killed him.
And in Finders Keepers, Peter makes sure he's the only one who knows about the location of the hidden treasure.
Oh no, it's the one kid who also followed the treasure map.
So while we don't see Peter take a swing, we're just gonna assume he did. Right up his alley, honestly. Forget the alley, it's right up his street, all the way into his driveway and up into his house. Plus, children's skulls aren't that strong, so we'd have to assume that a swing from that shovel would kill him. Don't ask me how I know so much about children's skulls. I took a chance on a weird elective in college, and here we are. And in Peter's problem, Peter completely fumbles making dinner, and his kids pay the price.
Holy crap! Oh my God! Then that means...
So Chris is cooked, Stewie's frozen, and Meg's head has been turned into a soupy mess. But it would be a shame to let all this hard work go to waste. I'm sure someone out there would be happy for this meal. Maybe the Belchers in the Bob's Burgers pilot? Did you know they were supposed to be cannibals in the original pitch? Oh, what could have been. And in Mom's the Word, a simple, innocent hug proves to be a bit too much for old Evelyn.
Evelyn? Evelyn?
Rest easy, Peter. It's probably the way she wanted to go. At that age, you're probably happy with most ways to go, come to think of it. But while Peter has one confirmed kill in this episode, he does allude to potentially being involved with 168 more.
And was I involved in the Oklahoma City bombing? A little bit.
Yeah, but how little of a bit are we talking? Ah, what the heck. Let's attribute those to him anyway, just for the fun of it. And as the woodsman in Grim Job, Peter cuts the big bad wolf down to size with his trusty chainsaw. Thank goodness he got here just in time and wasn't psychotic enough to do that to Little Red Riding Hood. But he is just psychotic enough to do that to a man in another house. And in 3 Acts of God, a mother and child end up getting caught in the crossfire of Peter figuring out how many beers he can drink and still drive home.
7. 6.
That 7th one must have been a 4 Loko, because that's a pretty steep drop-off. But truth be told, Peter's just as much of a threat behind the wheel sober as he is drunk. And sometimes he doesn't even need a car. Sometimes he just needs a little favor from God.
Oh, I asked for one more thing.
What's happening?
Having someone fade from existence does count, even if it's Peter just guiding the spiritual gun rather than pulling the trigger. And in Fresh Air, Peter thinks he's helping Chris with his school bully, but he's fatally mistaken.
That's not even him! That's the deaf kid!
Oh, that was sign language.
I guess we can understand why Peter still went through with it. He barely understands the English language most of the time, so he stood no chance of understanding sign language. And in He's Black, Peter shows how he deals with his anger by accidentally throwing a shot put into a crowd of people.
I forgot to make it look like an accident.
Yeah, not too slick there. You just bumped your charge from manslaughter to murder. And that wasn't even the correct forms. Now you've got the shot put purist mad too. And in Baking Bad, we get a pretty creepy cutaway of Peter licking Connie Britton's hair and explaining how he got into her room.
God, your hair is delicious.
Who are you?
I'm the guy who killed your bodyguard.
Man, it's so hard to find good help these days. If this bodyguard couldn't see a guy like Peter coming, then maybe the job wasn't for him. Ironically, nothing seems to be good for him now, except maybe being worm food. And in Brian the Closer, Peter recklessly pulls Brian around with his car in order to get him to let go of the rope.
Just give me the rope. Nobody has to get hurt, Brian.
Oh no.
Only one person has to get hurt, Brian.
And this should be a friendly reminder to all bike riders to wear reflective clothing while you're out biking. Sometimes it can be really hard to spot you in broad daylight. And in Once Bitten, Peter crushes a kid to death with a classic toy, the Pete in the Box.
Goes the weasel.
Glad to see he never lost that touch for the toys he had while working at the toy factory. Or the tendency to kill kids with said toys. They just don't make toys like they used to anymore. And in Roasted Guy, Peter has a few casualties, starting with when he makes his coworker pay after eating his lunch that clearly had his name on it.
My name is Peter too!
See, that's why you gotta establish office nicknames before tragedies like these happen. But that's not the only kill he's responsible for in this episode, as to ruin a wedding, Peter bribes a busboy to really give the happy couple something to remember.
Go! Oh my god, somebody stabbed the groom!
Well, the would-be bride will probably remember it. Probably not the groom anymore. That's what they get for putting Peter at table 17. All the food will be cold by the time it's his turn to join the buffet line. And he's got one more kill in this episode as he gets startled and crushes Jiminy Cricket.
Peter, I'm your conscience, Jiminy Cricket. Ah, bug!
Normally we wouldn't count bugs as people, but the guy talked, was fully dressed, and had a family. Plus, he's dead now. The least we can do is consider him a person before his arms and legs get scraped off Peter's shirt. And in Take My Wife, Peter manages to shoot down a plane while trying to get its attention.
We gotta get the attention of that plane!
It's a tragedy and all, but can we just appreciate how he nailed that shot? Those things are hard to aim with because the flare lobs so much. If you make it off this island, Peter, maybe you should take up professional shooting. A lot fewer casualties will come from it.
You gotta help us!
And in pilling them softly, Peter does Tom Tucker a solid by getting rid of a coworker he wasn't able to fire.
Who wrote this? Wait, is that the one I called fat and we can't fire?
Don't worry, Tom. Peter's got you. And he didn't even have to pay him or track him down on Craigslist to do it. Peter must have known the economy's tough right now and not everyone can afford a hitman.
Oh my god, Erica! You killed Erica!
And in Peter Normal Activity, Peter and the guys end up killing a war veteran when they confuse him for a ghost. That's a big whoopsie, but good teamwork, guys. People should have done that to Michael Myers a long time ago. But if you want to feel bad about this poor old guy's death, well, I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh my god.
Wow, that's a relief.
And in The Peanut Butter Kid, Peter and I guess the rest of the family admit to being a part of a pretty heinous act.
Hey, God, it's the Griffins. Again, we're very sorry we cyberbullied that girl to death.
So while this may not be a murder, it did lead to a death at the hands of Peter's actions. Just remember, if any cyberbully had a happy life, they wouldn't be trying to cyberbully you. So have some peace knowing that you've already won. And in a lot going on upstairs, Peter's taking of a street sign inadvertently causes a bit of an accident.
Even made it extra awesome by stealing a real street sign.
If only there were a sign to tell that driver that children were at play. He must have thought those were just hallucinations he was seeing and kept on driving. That's why you always need a sign. And that sounded like at least 2 different kids, so we'll give them 2 for this episode. And in Fox in the Men House, Peter speaks the one phrase that will apparently make any anthropology worker melt.
I know one thing you don't have. Black customers.
I'm melting!
I like to believe everyone has their own secret trigger word that'll just turn them into a puddle of goo. So sorry if I've said something that's caused you to melt, but good luck winning that court case. In an Emmy-winning episode, Peter executes Joe in the desert while he's role-playing as Walter White.
Why won't you die?
Well, killing him on camera might help you. You know the rules. If someone is killed off camera, you can't really confirm they're dead. Gotta see the body and the old tweets that got the actor fired to really be sure that character is gone. And in 3 Directors, Peter goes full Kill Bill to slice and dice his way through several Trisha Takanawas. I always knew that Ronald McDonald was a dangerous man, and with the power of McDonald's and Thundercats on his side, Peter manages to chop his way through 13 of the henchwomen, being robbed of a total wipeout thanks to a rogue bottle thrown at one of the Trishas. And for good measure, he also manages to split his boss Angela down the middle, and not in the way she was probably hoping. And in Dog Bites Bear, Peter does his best Merc with the Mouth impression as the superhero Red Stool.
Call me Red Stool. The treatment didn't give me powers, but it did spread cancer to my...
Well, powers or no powers, Red Stool manages to shoot and slash his way through 4 armed goons on a bridge. And he didn't even bother having to count his bullets. One way or another, those guys were getting killed. And in Veteran Guy, Coast Guard Peter needs to commandeer a jet ski to make it to a boat.
We'll totally make it.
It's the only way, guys!
Look, if a Coast Guard ever demands your jet ski, you gotta give it to them. Actually, if any psycho ever demands your jet ski, it's probably better to just go ahead and give it to them, too.
You wanted to ride the jet ski.
I wanted to ride the jet ski.
And in Through the Years, Peter's crimes of fashion quickly turn into much more serious crimes.
How did he climb so high so fast?
And by the time they sit down, Peter ends up slicing at least 7 onlookers. Oh, so that's where Murder on the Dance Floor got its name. The 70s were wild, man. Disco was killing so many people that the townsfolk had to rise up and kill it themselves.
Yeah, we'll have a round of beers for the table. Yep, we got her too.
And in Throw It Away, Peter lulls a spider into a false sense of security right before he offs him a la Goodfellas. Now, if this were a normal spider, we probably wouldn't have included it. But because of his talking, his nice suit, and the ample amounts of brain matter about to come out of his head, we gave him the dignity of being seen as a person.
Oh no.
And in Girl Interneted, all work and no play makes Peter weirdly murderous towards Cleveland.
How you doing, Doc?
That's a sick little reference from The Shining, even if it does come out of absolutely nowhere. Then again, I think I just described Family Guy's entire style of including references. And while performing a Dude Perfect style basketball shot in Adam West High, Peter ends up being way off the mark. It's too bad this harmless trick had to end in... Wait, here comes the street sweeper. He did it! Do you believe in miracles, ladies and gentlemen? And when Peter and Brian try to track down a murderer in Connie's Salika, Peter opts for just going around and ripping off faces like they do in Scooby-Doo.
Unless... Which can only mean...
Well, he might not be exposing any criminals, but he is exposing just how many spooky skeletons are living among us. Can you imagine how many are out there just wearing human skin as if it were their own skin? It's sickening. And the episode Meg's Wedding shows that even with tiny arms, Peter is still capable of committing war crimes. Man, the restrictions for joining the military just keep getting looser and looser. And in Boy's Best Friend, Peter accidentally runs over one of Sesame Street's most iconic characters.
Tell my ex-wife to go yourself.
Really making it hard to be sad for the guy. And what's worse is that because he lived his life as an angry grouch, he'll probably be reincarnated as something worse. Yes, even worse than a monster who lives in a trash can. And in The Marion Kind, Peter finds a way to visit Chris in prison so they can still eat breakfast together.
We just had to kill a guard or two. Actually, we had to kill a bunch of guards. It was bad.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme. Extremely wholesome that Peter would go through all that trouble just to see his son. It kind of almost erases the brutality of all the killing he did. Kinda, not really. Since he said a bunch, we're gonna go with banana measurements and say they end up killing at least 5. And in Batman and Robin, the episode actually ends with the entire Griffin family dying because Peter took the batteries out of the carbon monoxide detector.
Well, we learned a lot this week. But unfortunately, we all then died of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah, they're fine by the next episode, but let's just take a moment to celebrate the peace and quiet brought about by this happy little accident. And in Fat Gun, Peter accidentally kills his wingman when they try to eject.
Let's just pull on 2.
On or after 2.
Tragic. A man cut down in his prime. And he didn't even live long enough to see how the episode was going to come up with some wacky way for him to lose his legs. So if you add all those kills up, it puts his kill count at roughly 464 people. And if you include all the damage he's done in those chicken fights, it's guaranteed to be much higher. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you can catch more great Family Guy videos.
Right on. Yeah, definitely go check out more from this channel. This was interesting. That high. 464. Jesus. I knew it was going to be high. I didn't realize it was going to be that high. That went up fast. Anyway, a lot of those I recognized from clips that I've seen on doing the compilations. But some of them I didn't recognize at all. Which is why I want to check out more from this channel. Sweaty Clam. I've already got them saved, so I will go back and check on them and see what else they've got on their channel. Anyway, you guys will have to let me know what you thought about this one in the comments down below. Let me know what else I'm missing. I will get there as soon as I possibly can. If you are still here and haven't done so yet, please hit the like and subscribe buttons before you leave. It goes a long way towards building the channel up, and it really makes my day. That being said, that is just about going to do it for this video. It is off to the next one for me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this with me, and I hope to see you on the next video. Love you guys. Peace. Hey guys, make sure to check out one of my other videos right here at Jerry J.